Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to be doing a version of the Whack and Sticks. I've done them before. Here's a couple examples where you take different pieces of paper. These are glued together. These were actually cut straight versus ripped, where I have 1, 2, 3, 5 different pieces here. These were taller, skinnier tags. These were 3 by 6. This was a ripped one. I can tell there's some ripped paper here, but still the 5 pieces to do that. But I was thinking of doing them with generic papers instead of colored papers, which is what these are mostly used for that I've done before. So I picked out a few generic ones, and I've got a music sheet. I've got a telephone book page. I've just got a book. It is in a foreign language. I believe it's in Danish. I've got not a spelling book. It's more like I forget what it was. Not a thesaurus. I'm not sure what kind. It was one little book I have there. Does how it's pronounced syllabate wise. And then I think that's a Reader's Digest book. So I got those 5, and I've decided to do this size, which is 4 by 6. Yeah, 4 by 6, yes. And the reason I decided to do that is, if you saw my last video when I was making those fun fold-in pages, I started with 12 by 12, and I cut them down to 8 by 8, so I had 4-inch strips that were 12 inches long. So divide them in half, and 6 by 4. So I took my green and red. It's not going to be seen too much. The back will. So I'm thinking it'd be fun to add to journals, Christmas journals. So let's start with this. So you're going to take your 5 selected pieces, and like I said, they can be scrapbook paper, they can be anything. And I'm going to kind of try to do them. Actually, they probably look pretty good like that, with like shades of colors between different fonts. Actually, that's probably not too bad. Yeah, okay. So what you do is you end up ripping these in 3 layers. So we're just going to go ahead and take this top layer and rip that at a fun angle. And then we're going to rip the bottom one off. Again, kind of in a unique pattern. And then what you do is you end up ripping the top one in half and the bottom one in half. So this leaves a middle section. I have done it with 6 where I've ended up ripping all 3 of them, but I'm just going to do 5. So however many you rip, that's how many card bases you need. So we got 1, 2, move these down, trying to keep them in order, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so if you haven't seen the Whack and Sticks before, they're really easy to do. You just start with your first one and put them in the corner because they're all that shape, and you just dole out all 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for the second one, you're going to start with the second card, and we're going to do 1 or 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one. The third piece, we're going to start with the third card. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the 4th piece is going to start with the 4th one. Oops, 3, 4, and 5. And the 5th one is going to start with the 5th one. 3, 4, and 5. And that's all you need to do. So I'm going to push these out of the way so I can glue them down. And I'll push that one this way, and we'll take this one, and I guess we'll do that one first. So fairly simple. And once this is all done, I'm going to not hopefully, but my plan is to decorate them with the ephemera that I got for my Patreon. I have some of those left over from the last video. And go from there. Now, I know sometimes when you're doing this, it doesn't quite line up to the edges or the sides or doesn't overlap. And that's why I thought it would be kind of fun if we're going to do a Christmas one, that I end up doing the Christmas colors, because they would show through. But you really can put it on anything. And I just thought of something as I'm doing this that I forgot that I did, because it's been a while since I did it. Okay, so normally, that's crooked, but that'll be okay. I'll trap the edges. Normally I'll do the top and then the bottom row, and I'll do it on the next one. And then I can center that piece that's in the center in case there's a lot of gapping room. And it happens sometimes, because as you're ripping it, they are being torn similar, but since there are layers, they do shift. So sometimes you will get gaps. Like that's not too big of a gap. But I might have realized it was better off. I might have noticed it was a little crooked versus now. But when this is all said and done, I will go ahead and straighten these. Just trim a little bit off, so the 4x6 will end up being, 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 in the end. Maybe use the corner rounder to do the circle. But I do like the hints of color coming through, since it is Christmassy. I like it. I like it. All right, so we'll do this one more correct, if you want to call it that. All right, so we put that up there. And beautiful. And what was nice about these was they were thinner papers to start with, so they ripped really easily. And since I'm using the not really heavy cardstock, green and red, but a little thicker, like this fact that this was a phone book page and it's much lighter, it didn't really matter too much. One thing I have noticed, though, when you're doing these whack and stacks, is you don't want to use really thick papers for your rippings. And also, I did it again. I did the center. See, this is what happens when you're yapping and chapping. If you, whoops, slidey. There we go. If you, use different, if these papers that you glue on, like some are thicker, like say Tim Holtz weight, and some are thin, like phone book, you're going to feel the difference of them. These were all really thin to start, so I'm not really feeling a difference. Yeah, I think these are awesome. I do like them. I don't know. I'm not sure what made me think of doing neutral pages. Sometimes things just come to you. I can't say that there wasn't something that I saw that made me go, oh, that could be good. But to combine the whack and stacks with this, yeah, I think these would be great. I said I got my Christmas decor, be able to put some of that stuff on there. Yeah. I like it. Okay, next one. All right, shall we try to do this one correctly? Or the way I suggest to do it? Put the center over there. Now I know this is probably going to be well after the fact, but I was wondering if anyone saw, it was even a couple days ago for me, the Northern Lights that came really far. I'm near Chicago. The first night they were supposed to come out, I kind of forgot about them, so I never went and looked, and I saw a bunch of people post on, there, oh, these were beautiful, I saw them. So the second night there was supposed to be a chance for them, and my husband and I drove out. We kind of live right on the edge of farmland, so it gets pretty dark. Not too far from our house, and we couldn't find a thing. It was quite disappointing. I was really hoping to see that. I don't imagine that I'm going to ever go anywhere that I'll be able to see them in real life, but they seem to be happening a little bit more often lately. I don't know. I don't know if it's climate issues or just the way the sun seems to be going right now, but hoping I'll get another chance at some point, and maybe I'll go the first day instead of the second and look for it, even using the camera, because I heard them say that if you use your camera, sometimes those you'll be able to see it through there better than the naked eye, even though a lot of people did see it with the naked eye in this area. So I was wondering if you got a chance to go and see it where you're at, if it's not something that you normally get. Okay. Yeah, I do like the pops of the reds and greens peeking through, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna change the page here. I'm getting a bit sticky and these pages are a little thinner. Okay, that one didn't have as much of the reds peeking through, but that's okay. I still like it. All right, so let's get the first one, and we will straighten this out. Like I said, there's a bit sticking out, so I'm just gonna trim ever so a little bit off of there. Looks like the two sides need a little bit taken off. I think that looks pretty good. So yes, I just really just took a hair off, so it's not much smaller. And like I said, if I wanted to, oh, let's use this one. If I wanted to round the edges, round the corners. Since it's on a thicker paper, it definitely worked well. It's hard to, can't really round the edges of a phone book. And we'll just ink it a little bit. Throw a little ink in the center there. Yeah. Fun. Now, like I said, this does not have to be, this is not necessarily geared toward Christmas just because I used a red. This could be made for anything. If you wanted to put plain behind it, spring colors, you know, you got spring things on there. Totally fine. But yeah, let's make something Christmassy out of this one. And I'll grab that stuff that I got left over from, and I do have this one tree. That would be fun. And I'm not sure, actually thinking as I'm looking, kind of fun to put this yellow it's got some reds in there and some greens, and I think the yellow is kind of Christmassy. I think it'd be kind of fun to put that on there. Wow, I did pretty good at guessing how long that was going to be. Just a hair over. Barely see it. That was a good guess. All right, so I think I still want some sort of piece of paper behind this too. And I'm going to use this, and I'm gonna tear it versus cutting it, give it a little bit more personality. It's a very slight brick pattern. It's probably hard to see on the screen. If you downloaded the freebie off of the Ko-fi account, you could tell. It's a very subtle, very, very subtle pattern, but I like it. I still want to rip a little bit more off. Don't want to cover up too much of the background with the words, right? I want to still be able to see it. And I think put another present down there. And I think I want to do this one. Put that one. And some sort of numbers. That was kind of fun. Let's see what that one looks like. These, I think, were Tracy Fox labels, if I recall correctly. Some sort of grungy label. Yeah, I like it. Okay, let's glue her down. Okay, so we're going to start with this and glue it down. All right, I think this is probably the only one that I am going to decorate for this video. The real intention was to show a new version of Whack and Stacks and to be able to use them with generic papers, which I thought was quite fun. So I think I accomplished that. And I don't think I necessarily want each and every one of these to be strictly Christmas themed. I'm going to put that tree up higher, as I always remember or forget to do. Put them too low, so that when they get stuck in the pocket, they are. And I'm not as sold on that present anymore. Now those really can go on something else. What about that present? Oh, I like that present better. Okay, let's do that one. Okay, there we go. Girl's allowed to change her mind, right? Okay, put that up there so we still see a bit of those words. And get a little ink around this one and call it done. Yeah, I really like this. But I think, as I was saying, I get interrupted my train of thought. I'm not going to decorate the other ones because they could definitely be used for other occasions. I still could probably use them for the fall one if I wanted to decorate them using the fall one. Use them more, you know, add some Tim Holtz decor, some travel decor. For sure. I think a little bit of, no, I would say a little bit of boo-boo tape there, but I think that's okay because that is quite boo-boo tape-esque. Yeah, I like it. I do not mind it. And even like on this side, if you wanted to throw just a little bit of a decor on this side to make it look a little more festive. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you like the idea of making some whack and stacks using some plain, simple papers. I really do like the idea. Pick and choose what cardstock you want to put back if you want certain colors to peek through. Just make sure it's thick enough so that these thinner papers have something to adhere to. Not just don't put them on like a copy paper that's in coffee dye. That might not be, I don't think that'll be strong enough. Okay. That's going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.